All right, hello everyone. I'm going to give a few seconds here for anyone else that would like to join us. Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Anne. I am a senior majoring in apparel merchandising and I'm minoring in public relations as well. So this summer I am doing community outreach for MGC where I plan fall recruitment events as well as running the social media. So today I'm going to go through an overview of the Multicultural Greek Council as well as how to join in other questions that a lot of people have been asking me lately. So feel free to ask any questions along the way while I'm talking, or you can wait till the end if you would like, whatever you're comfortable with. So to start, I'll go over the council overview really quickly. So the Multicultural Greek Council, we're also known as MGC, was founded on the basis of diversity as each of our chapters has an aspect of diversity as part of their mission statement. Our chapters are proud of our commitment in spreading awareness to the different unique backgrounds that each member has in our council. Although our chapters put emphasis on spreading awareness and educating specific identities, we are still welcoming to all, including those that identify with chapter-specific identities, as well as those who don't identify but still want to spread awareness. So within MGC, we have 8 different chapters, 3 of which are fraternities and 5 are sororities. These different chapters include the APITA, Latina, Latino, Latinx, LGBTQIAA+, and multicultural communities. So in the APITA community, we have Delta Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated, as well as Pi Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. In the Latino, Latina, Latinx, we have Lambda Theta Alpha Latin Sorority Incorporated, as well as Lambda Theta Nu Sorority Incorporated and Lambda Theta Phi Latin Fraternity Incorporated. The LGBTQIAA+ chapter is Gamma Rho Lambda National Sorority. And then we have our 2 multicultural chapters, which are Sigma Lambda Beta International Fraternity Incorporated and Sigma Lambda Gamma National Sorority Incorporated. These last 2 chapters are historically Latinx, but now identify as multicultural. And just to reiterate, you can join any of these orgs, even if you don't identify with the org-specific identities they bring awareness to. All right, so next I'll go over why you should join MGC. So there is a lot that you can take out of becoming a member of one of our Greek letter orgs. And being an MGC gives you a lot of different benefits, which can include developing professional skills. In all of our chapters, we have executive positions. So that includes president, treasurer, secretaries, and more. You can run for these positions in the future, and these positions offer a lot of hands-on experience that you can apply to in your future careers. So this is a great way to develop your leadership skills throughout your college experience. Another really great way that we develop skills is through public speaking. I know this is very scary to a lot, including myself, but over time, once you start being exposed to more public speaking, you get more comfortable with public speaking. So this can mean hosting events or workshops and recruiting. Within hosting events and workshops, typically chapters do a presentation where you are talking to the different people that are joining you with your events. And then in recruiting, of course, like what I'm doing right now, I'm speaking to you all, as well as during our recruitment weeks, we have a bunch of chapter members speaking about their chapters there as well. Another really great skill is time management skills. So being in our org is a time commitment, but we offer many different resources to help you manage your school life balance. And of course, going into your future career, time management is a really great skill to learn as you will most likely be busy with a lot of projects coming in the future. So like I said, we do offer a lot of help to our members, and this help can include academic chairs providing study sessions and hours to help you with your schoolwork. And we also know that some chapters pair older members that guide newer members on your journey throughout college. And some chapters also provide scholarships for study abroad, tuition help, and a lot more. And also, as many of you know, there are lifelong bonds that you create. I know many people join to create these bonds. And when you join any of the organizations, you will create bonds that last even after you graduate. So these friendships you'll create will provide you a great support while you're in college and will help you transition once you graduate. These bonds are a great way to help you network in your career field as well. And last but not least, we have that our chapters help you understand the different identities that you may hold. So each of our orgs are dedicated to spreading awareness, like I said before, And so we help the members learn more about the different identities and that they may hold, as well as what their chapters highlight in their identities. So personally for me, I came from a small town that didn't have much diversity, so I didn't get to interact with others who shared my cultures or experiences. But then after I joined MDC, my chapter educated me on the different Asian American histories that happened in the US and even throughout just the world, and really helped me open my eyes to learn more about my culture. They also guided me to join different Asian American or Asian orgs on campus that made me love my culture and most importantly myself even more. So I'll go into recruitment a little bit here. So recruitment happens at the beginning of the semester where we host free non-binding events that you can meet all the MDC chapter members. Non-binding just means that you are not required to join any of our chapters and you are not committing to joining at all. Our council, as well as other individual chapters, host recruitment events where you can learn more about our council as a whole and about each chapter individually. Even if you aren't sure about joining MDC, this is still a really great opportunity for you to meet new people at Iowa State so that you can see familiar faces on campus. Okay, so I'll go into Meet the Greeks now. This is a recruitment event that MGC has put on in the past few years, and it happens every single semester. So this is the night where chapters and potential new members have a chance to get to know each other. Chapters will present more about events they hold, their chapter values, and what makes them unique, and a lot more. You'll also get a better understanding of what the MGC Council is all about. The topics are similar to the lives that I've been doing here, but of course, you'll actually get the opportunity to see the people within MGC, not just me. There's also time towards the end of the event where chapters will talk to you and give you time to reach out with additional questions you may have for their chapters. So my advice to you all before going into Meet the Greeks is to come prepared with questions you may have, as this is your opportunity to make the most out of the event. Our chapters are eager and excited to meet you, so please don't feel afraid to ask any questions. That is what the event is all about. All right, and then also new this year, I'm excited to announce that MGC will be adding other recruitment events on top of Meet the Greeks. So now, instead of just only hosting Meet the Greeks, we will also have MGC Week. So this will include 2 to 3 new events that will include a showcase that we've been brainstorming about. This showcase is where you can see other chapters performing steps, strolls, salutes, and a lot more. If you don't know what strapping, strolling, or saluting is, Meet the Greeks and our showcase is a great way for you to learn more about the history of it and actually be able to see it in person. So we are still finalizing the plans for MGC Week, and we urge you to follow us on Instagram at Iowa State MGC, and also keep watch on our Facebook page as well as future emails we'll be sending out. As we get more information about how these events will look like, we will be reaching out with this information. Okay, so going back to what I was saying earlier about chapter recruitment, I'll explain what that looks like for each individual chapter. So each chapter typically hosts their own personal recruitment events that happen at the beginning of the semester as well. And these events can include socials where chapters will collaborate with other chapters within MGC and possibly even other organizations on campus that aren't recluttered. We have brotherhoods, sisterhoods, or siblings where you'll have time to hang out with current chapter members, and also informational sessions where you can learn about each chapter's intake process and about the chapter in general. Most chapters have attendance requirements for their own recruitment weeks, but if you're unable to make events because of scheduling conflicts, you can talk directly with them to work out alternatives. All right, now that we've gone over recruitment, I'll go into intake. So the intake, a lot of people have questions when it comes to intake, which is completely understandable given that all of our chapters do intake a little bit differently. So intake is defined as the membership selection process. You'll often hear chapters talk about going through process. This term process is often interchangeable for intake and both mean the same thing. So after recruitment events, each chapter will host, after the recruitment events, chapters will typically do an interview or application process that you will go through. These interviews are pretty much like the ones that you may have gone to apply for jobs. It's very similar questions and style. And after you go through that interview or application process, the active house, which is the current chapter members, will then decide if they would like to extend a bid. And then if you accept that bid, you will begin your intake process. So the intake process is a private educational process where you will learn more about the chapter history as well as the different values that the chapters has. Another thing to note is that each chapter has different policies for membership joining. So many of them require an ICU GPA, which is typically why intake happens later in the semester. Some of our chapters accept freshmen and graduate students while others do not. This is unique for each chapter, so feel free to reach out and ask any of the chapters their requirements. Our chapters also want to see dedication to academics and community involvement, so it's a great idea to express your interest in being involved within the Iowa State community and even just the general Ames community or Iowa community as well. The last thing to note for intake is that this is the time equivalent or time commitment is equivalent to adding another class on your schedule. But again, it is best to ask individual chapters what their process looks like. I will note that we're going into a 8-week semester, so the intake may be a lot different from what has gone in the past. But again, once we get the information, our chapters will let you know what that will look like. Okay, so that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to talk about with you all today. So I'm open to any questions you may have. Okay, so what types of community service does MGC orgs engage in? This is really different for each org. I know in the past we've done tabling for I Stand with Immigrants that our chapters have done. And we also do different community service within the philanthropies that different chapters do. So these chapters will typically host events that will help you learn more about their philanthropy projects and why they are doing the philanthropy that they're doing. I know for specifically other events that I can think of is working with other organizations on campus. I know chapters have worked with Bed of Bags, which helps create bags for or beds for homeless people within the Ames community and even the greater Des Moines area as well. Okay, so do you suggest doing any type of research before thinking about joining an MDC organization? Yes, I really highly recommend doing research as all of our chapters are very different and unique. There are also different communities that there are, like the APITA, Latino, Latina, Latinx, LGBTQIA, and multicultural. So I know that a lot of people have questions when it comes to maybe finances or the intake process or anything else. So really getting to know more about the different chapters is a great idea. And how you can do that is by going onto their different social media pages. So this could be their Instagram or Facebook, or maybe even going onto the SFE website where we have a guidebook of all of our chapters as well. Are there any opportunities to engage with MGC after graduation? Yes, our events are open to all. A lot of our chapters host many different events for their philanthropies or maybe even just different events that they host nationally. And of course, anyone is free to join, and you are also free to talk to and get to know the different chapters more as well. All right. And also, a really great thing to know about MGC after graduation is we have a really strong alumni association. So you can help be involved with different chapters. Even after you graduate, you can come back and help chapters with different processes, like their recruitment process, or maybe even hosting events as well. Okay. My favorite experience so far as a part of MGC, I would say definitely when I did my, what is it? It's like the neophyte presentation. So this is when a new class has crossed and they are presenting to the different chapters on campus. So while you're going through a process, something that is very unique to MGC is that your identity is anonymous and it stays anonymous throughout the process. And it is not until you cross that others are able to know that you have joined an organization, which is really cool because this is an event that many people attend in MGC and even throughout the different other councils that we have here. And it is a great way for you to get to know the community as well. And I know for my presentation, it was really nerve-wracking because of course you're in front of so many people, but it was really rewarding because I was able to show off all the knowledge that I gained throughout my process, my intake process, and also be able to really introduce myself individually as well as with my line sisters after I joined and crossed. Okay. All right. Well, if that is all, I'd like to thank you all for joining me. Again, please feel free to visit the Iowa State MGC page to learn more about the different chapters and also to learn more or to start guiding you to the different chapters that there are within MGC. Each of our chapters have different Instagram pages, Facebook pages, and a lot more. We also have an interest form on the SFE website that you can fill out. This interest form is to show interest in any of our four councils, but MGC is also on there where we will be able to reach out more with any questions that you may have. I will also be here, or I won't be here, but I will be on the SFE Zoom office hours every Thursday. So that includes tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. if you have any more questions as well. If that's everything, then I'd like to thank you all so much again for joining me. Yes, thank you. Bye.